He feels very, he says very wonderful. This is a good news actually. At least I get a proper punishment for what I have done. So 1.2.5 or 4. So 1.19.4 or 5. I think we did. 4 we have completed.
6, Mataji 6.
6, yeah. And now Parishit Maharaj sat on the banks of Ganga, concentrating his mind in Krishna consciousness. He rejected all other practices because he knows that transcendental loving service to Krishna is the greatest achievement. Now today, 6th verse. So Canto 1, chapter 19, 6th verse. Yavai lasat Shri Tulasi Vimishra Krishnagri Rena Renabhyadhikampunitri Punatilokanubhayatra Shesha Kastam Nash Sevet Marishyamanahan. Yeah, the river which, why always, Lasat, floating with, Shri Tulasi, Tulasi leaves, Vimishra, mixed, Krishnangri, the lotus feet of the Lord, Renu, dust, Abhyadika, species, Ambu, water, Netri, that which is carrying, Punati, sanctifies, Loka, planets, Ubhayatra, both the upper and the lower or inside and outside, Saishan, along with Lord Shiva, Kaha who else, Tam, that river, none does not, save it, worship, Marishyamana, one who is to die at that moment. The river Ganga by which the king sat to fast. So this we discussed last time. According to Jiva Goswami, it is bank of Yamuna. But then Ganga and Yamuna, there is no difference. That is why it is said that king took the shelter of Gangaji. Ganga carries the most auspicious water. It carries the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and Tulasi leaves. And in this way, the water sanctifies the three worlds inside, outside, and even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this indeed. Suppose if a person comes to know that he is going to give up his body, what he should do? He should go and reside at the banks of Ganga. So Ganga purifies everyone. Okay? I read Krishna Priya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Panchang Pranam. Text 6. Yavai Sri Tulasi Vimisra Krishnan Gragre Renva Bhya Dikambunetri Punati Lokanubhayatra Seshan Kastam Naseveta Marishyamanaha. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The river Ganges, which is the king's sack to fast, carries the most auspicious water, which is mixed with the dust of the lotus feet of the Lord and tulsi leaves. Therefore, that water sanctifies the three worlds inside and outside, even sanctifies Lord Shiva and other demigods. Consequently, everyone who is destined to die must take shelter of this river. Purport. Maharaja Parikshit, just after receiving the news of his death within 7 days, at once retired from family life and shifted himself to the sacred bank of the Yamuna river. Generally, it is said that the king took shelter on the bank of the Ganges. But according to Srila Jiva Goswami, the king took shelter on the bank of the Yamuna. Srila Jiva Goswami's statement appears to be more accurate because of the geographical situation. Maharaja Parikshit resided in his capital Hastinapura, situated near present Delhi, and the river Yamuna flows down past the city. Naturally, the king would take shelter of the river Yamuna because she was flowing fast past his palace door. And as far as sanctity is concerned, the river Yamuna is more directly connected with Lord Krishna than the Ganges. The Lord sanctified the river Yamuna from the beginning of his transcendental pastimes in the world. while his father Vasudeva was crossing the Yamuna with the baby Lord Krishna for a safe place at Gokula on the other bank of the river from Mathura. The Lord fell down in the other bank of the river from the Lord fell down in the river, and by the dust of his lotus feet, the river at once became sanctified. It is especially mentioned here in that Maharaja Parikshit took shelter of that particular river, which is beautifully flowing, carrying the dust of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, mixed with tulsi leaves. Lord Krishna's lotus feet are always besmeared with the tulsi leaves, and that thus, as soon as his lotus feet contact the water of the Ganges and the Yamuna, the river become at once sanctified. The Lord, however, with contacted the river Yamuna more than the Ganges. According to the Varaha Purana, as quoted by Srila Jiva Goswami, there is no difference between the water of the Ganges and the Yamuna. But when the water of the Ganges is sanctified 100 times, it is called the Yamuna. Similarly, it is said that in the scriptures that 1,000 names of Vishnu are equal to one name of the Rama, and the three names of Lord Rama are equal to one name of Krishna. Hare Krishna.
श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने सेरित सहस्रनाम इति व्यवच्छिद्य स पाण्डेव्यः प्रायोपवेशं प्रति विष्णुपदां पत्यां दधौ मुकुन्दाङ्घ्रि नन्यो मनन्यभावो मुनिव्रतो मुक्तसमस्तसङ्गः. So in this way, Lord, the king decided, Vyavachidya, having decided, Pandevya, worthy descendant of the Pandavas, Raya Pavesham, for fasting until death. It means the king has decided that I am going to fast until death. Where? Vishnu Padyam, on the banks of Ganga. Vishnu Padyam, on the bank of Ganga. Why? Because Yamuna and Ganga, when Yamuna is sanctified 100 times, it is Ganga. And Lord has kept his lotus feet known in Yamuna. That's why it's Yamuna, but known as Ganga because Ganga is sanctified 100 times, it is Yamuna. No difference between Ganga and Yamuna. Dadhav Mukundangri gave himself up. Mukundangri unto the lotus feet of Lord Krishna. Alanyaha without deviation. Bhavaha, spirit. Munivrata, with the woe of a sage. Mukta, liberated from samasta, all kinds of sangha association. So thus the king, the worthy descendant of the Pandavas, decided once and for all, sat on the Ganges bank to fast until death and give himself up to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is able to avoid liberation. So freeing himself from all kinds of association and attachment, he accepted the vow of a sage. So he has completely decided that now I'm only going to fast up to death and only think about Krishna. So in this way, he has taken the oath. Okay? And he has left all other association and attachments. So Kusum, I think today both of you are only there. So alternate you to read. Sometimes it's good. Only 2-3 people are there, they get more chance.
Yes,
Okay,
I
Kusum,
agree.
yeah.
Hare Krishna, Dhanapurna Mataji. इति व्यवच्छिद्य स पाण्डवेय प्रायोपवेशं प्रति विष्णुपद्यां ददौ मुकुन्दाग्रिमनन्यभावो मुनिव्रतो मुक्तसमस्तसङ्गः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. Thus the king, the worthy descendant of the Pandavas, decided once and for all and sat on the Ganges bank to fast until death and give himself up to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, who alone is able to award liberation. So freeing himself from all kinds of associations and attachments, he accepted the vows of a sage. Purport: the water of the Ganges sanctifies all the three worlds, including the gods and the demigods, because It emanates from the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead Vishnu. Lord Krishna is the fountainhead of the principle of Vishnu Tattva, and therefore shelter of his lotus feet can deliver one from all sins, including an offense committed by a king unto a Brahmana. Maharaj Parikshit therefore decided to meditate upon the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna, who is Mukunda, or the giver of liberations of all description. The banks of the Ganges or the Yamuna give one a chance to remember the Lord continuously. Maharaj Parikshit freed himself from all sorts of material association and meditated upon the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and that is the way of liberation. To be free from all material association means to cease completely from committing any further sins. To meditate upon the lotus feet of the Lord means to become free from the effects of all previous sins. The conditions of the material world are so made that one has to commit sins willingly or unwillingly, and the best example is Maharaj Parikshit himself, who was a recognized sinless pious king. But he also became a victim of an offense, even though he was ever unwilling to commit such a mistake. He was cursed also, but because he was a great devotee of the Lord, even such reverses of life became favorable. The principle is that one should not willingly commit any sin in his life and should constantly remember the lotus feet of the Lord without deviation. Only in such a mood will the Lord help the devotee make regular progress towards the path of liberation and thus attain the lotus feet of the Lord. Even if there are accidental sins committed by the devotee, the Lord saves the surrendered soul from all sins as confirmed in all scriptures. Swapadamulam bhajata priyasya tyaktanya bhavasya hari parishah vikarmaya chotpatitam kachante katanchit dhunoti sarvam hridi sannivishtaha. Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you.
Okay. Next. Hmm. Ajlo. This one, I don't see. This one you see. Swapada Moolam Vajatah Priyasva. Swapada means it is lotus feet. And this gives Ityani Abhavasya Hari Paresha. Is love for Krishna. 11th canto, 5th chapter, 47. Vikarma Yachopapatim Patinam Patitam Pathanchit Dunoti Sarvam Bodhisannivishtam. It has a capacity to remove all our sins. That is a wonderful uh, guna or wonderful advantage of taking the shelter of Ganga. Tatro, the next verse, 8th verse, first canto, 19th chapter. तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनं पुनाना महानुभावामनयास शिष्या प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशैः स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः. Every verse is so wonderful, isn't it? Tatra, there, Upajagmuhu, arrive, Bhuvanam, the universe, Punanaha, those who can sanctify, Mahanubhava, who all came there, all great souls came there. As if some message has been sent in the WhatsApp group, please come. But divine arrangement was there. Here Parishit Maharaj is sitting on the banks of Ganga, technically Yamuna, but then it doesn't matter the Ganga Yamuna. All the sages have come there. Munayaha, Sashishyaha, they came along with the disciples also. Right, almost Tirtha, places of pilgrimage. Abhigama, as if they are going for the pilgrimage. Apadesh, on the plea of Swayam, personally, he is certainly. Tirthani, all the places of pilgrimage. Punanti Santah, sanctify sages. At the time, all the great minds and thinkers accompanied by the disciples and sages who could verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making pilgrims journey. As if they are going for a pilgrimage, they arrived there. And who all sages came, the next verse was there. It's really surprising. And Parshuram came, everybody came, great thinkers, everyone came. Okay, now you have Gadadhar Prabhu to read. Gadadhar Prabhu, please read. Gadadhar Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu.
In the previous class, I want to ask which verse, Mataji. Sorry to say.
8th verse, 19th chapter, first canto. Till the time, Krishna Priya will do this. Till you search.
Yes, Mataji. Yes. Text
Krishna,
8.
the Lakshman.
You want to read? Okay, read.
Can I go ahead, Mataji?
Yeah, read. Tatro Pajagmu.
Text number 8, Canto 1, chapter 19, text number 8. Tatropajagmurbuvanam punana
Jagmur.
mahanubhava munaya
Tatro
sasisyaha.
Gadadhar Prabhu, can you hear me? Tatro Pajagmur.
Yeah, it's not audible, Mataji.
You are audible, but there are a lot of
Hare
mistakes.
Krishna.
I think I am not
Yeah,
audible.
I'll concentrate. Yeah, you are audible to me.
It is not Jagmur, it is Jagmur.
Can I read, Mataji?
Read.
तत्रोपजग्मुर्भुवनां पुनाना महानुभावा मुनयः सशिष्या प्रायेण तीर्थाभिगमापदेशैः स्वयं हि तीर्थानि पुनन्ति सन्तः. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. I'm audible, Mataji?
Yes.
At the time, all the great minds and thinkers, accompanied by the disciples and sages, who would verily sanctify a place of pilgrimage just by their presence, arrived there on the plea of making a pilgrim's journey. Purport. When Maharaja Parikshit sat down on the bank of the Ganges, the news spread in all directions of the universe, and the great minded sages who could follow the importance of the occasion all arrived there on the plea of pilgrimage. Actually, they came to meet Maharaja Parikshit and not to take bath of pilgrimage, because all of them were competent enough to sanctify the places of pilgrimage. Common men go to the pilgrimage sites to get themselves purified of all sins. Thus, the places of pilgrimage become overburdened with the sins of others. But when such sages visit overburdened places of pilgrimage, they sanctify the places by their presence. Therefore, the sages who came to meet Maharaja Parikshit were not very much interested in getting themselves purified like common men. But on the plea of taking bath in the place, they came to meet Maharaja Parikshit because they could foresee the Srimad Bhagavatam would be spoken by Sukadeva Goswami. All of them wanted to take advantage of the great occasions. Hare Krishna, Dharatnamaj.
Okay, next verse. Who are all the sages who have come? Let's see. Three rishis also there. Atri Vasishta Chavanaha Sharadvam. Atri Rishi is there. Chavana Rishi is there. And then you have Vashisht is there. Sharadvam. Then Sharadvan Rishi is there. Shish Rishi. Then Arish Sharadvan. Arish Tanemi Bhruvurangirashcha. Arishtanemi. Vaishnavi is there. Bhrigu Rishi is there. Then Angiraha is there. Bhrigu Angiraha. Angiraha is Vashishta. Vashishta is also there. Angiraha. Okay. Angira Rishi is different. Angira Rishi is there. Parasharogadi Sutota Rama. Then you have Parasharmani. Then Gadhi Suto, that is Vishwamitra. Here Angira is put down. Angira is there. Then Rama, that is Parashuram, is there. Uthatya Indra Pramadetma Vahav. Uthatya is there. Indra Pramada is there. Then Idma Vahu. He also came. Medha Tithir Deval Arishtane Nenu. Arish Ashtir Ashtirne Ashtir Shenu. So then Medhatithi is there, Devala is there, Arstishena is also there. Bharadvajo Gautamaha Pippaladaha. Gautama is there, Bharadvaj is there, Pippalada is there. Maitreya, Aurva, Avashaha, Kumbhayoni. Aurva is there, Avasha is there, Kumbhayoni is there. Vaipayano Bhagavan Naradascha. Vaipayana Rishi is there. Who is Vaipayana? Vedavyasa. He is also there. At the same time, great personality, Narada is also there. Vaipayana, sorry, Sukadeva Goswami is also there. Vaipayana Rishi, Sukadeva Goswami. So in this way, everybody is there. How come everyone is present over there? It's all divine arrangement. Okay. Read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Text
Read.
9 and 10. Atrevasishtaschavana sharadva narishtane bhrugurarki rasva parasarogadi sutodharama udatta indra pramadedmavaho medhatidhirdvela arstishsheno भारद्वाजो गौतमः पिप्पलादः मैत्रेय ओर्वाः कवशः कुम्भयोनि द्वैपायनो भगवान् नारदश्वा. Translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. From different parts of the universe, there arrived great sages like Atri, Chavana, Shradhavan, Arishtamuni, Bhrugu, Vasishta, Parasara, Vishwamitra, Angira, Parasurama, Udhatya, Indrapramada, Idhamavahu, Medhatithi, Devala, Arishtasena, Bharadwaja, Gautama, Pippalada, Maitreya, Aurava, Kavasha, Kumbhayoni, Dvaipayana, and the great personality.
Vyasa, not Sukadeva Goswami. Vyasa. Dvaipayana Vyasa, we say, Dvaipayana Vyasa. His son is Sukadeva Goswami. Dvaipayana Vyasa.
Dvaipayana and the great personality Narada. Purport. Chavana, a great sage and one of the son of Bhrigu Muni. He was born prematurely when his pregnant mother was kidnapped. Chavana is one of the 6 sons of his father. Bhrigu, when Brahmaji was performing a great sacrifice on behalf of Varuna Maharshi, Bhrigu was born from the sacrificial fire. He was a great sage, and his very dear wife was Puloma. He could travel in space like Durvasa, Narada, and others, and he used to visit all the planets of the universe. Before the battle of Kurukshetra, he tried to stop the battle. Sometimes he instructed Bharadwaja Muni about astronomical evolution, and he is the author of the great Bhrigu Samhita, the great astrological calculation. He explained how air, fire, water, and earth are generated from either. He explained how the air in the stomach works and regulates the intestines. As a great philosopher, he logically established the eternity of the living entity Mahabharata. He was also a great anthropologist, and the theory of evolution was long ago explained by him. He was a scientific propounder of the four divisions and order of human society, known as the Varnasrama instructions. He converted the Kshatriya king Vitha, Vai- Vaithavahya into a Brahmana. Vasista, Sri Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.6. Parasara, he is the grandson of Vasista Muni and father of Vyasadeva. He is the son of Maharshi Sakti, and his mother's name was Atreyati. Atreyasyati. He is in the womb of his mother when she was only 12 years old, and from within the womb of his mother, he learned the Vedas. His father was killed by a demon, Kalmashapada, and to avenge this, he wanted to annihilate the whole world. He was restrained, however, by his grandfather Vasista. He then performed a Rakshasa killing yajna, but Maharshi Pulastya restrained him. He begot Vyasadeva, being attracted by Satyavati, who was become the wife of Maharaja Santanu. By the blessing of Parasara, Satyavati became fragrant for miles. He was present also during the time of Bhishma Datta. He was spiritual master of Maharaja Janaka and a great devotee of Lord Shiva. He is the author of many Vedic scriptures and sociological directions. Ghadi Sutta or Vishwamitra, a sage of austerity and mystic power, is famous as Ghadi Sutta because his father was Ghadi, a powerful king of the province of Kanya Kubja, part of Uttar Pradesh. Although he was a Kshatriya by birth, he became a Brahmana in the very same day by the power of his spiritual achievements. He picked a quarrel with Vasista Muni when he was a Kshatriya king and performed a great sacrifice in cooperation with managing Muni, and thus was able to vanquish the sons of Vasista. He became a great yogi, and yet he failed to check his senses and thus was obliged to become the father of Sakuntala, the beauty queen of world history. Once he was a Kshatriya king, he visited the hermitage of Vasista Muni and he was given a royal reception. Vishwamitra wanted from Vasista a cow named Nandini, and the Muni refused to deliver it. Vishwamitra stole the cow, and thus there was a quarrel between the sage and the king. Vishwamitra was defeated by the spiritual strength of Vasista, and thus the king decided to become a Brahmana. Before becoming a Brahmana, he underwent severe austerity on the bank of the Kaushika. He was also one who tried to stop the Kurukshetra war. Angira. He is one of the six mental sons of Brahma and the father of Brihaspati, the great learned priest of the demigods in the heavenly planets. He was born of the semen of Brahmaji given to a cinder of fire. Utatya and the Samvarta are his sons. It is said that he is still performing austerity and chanting the holy name of the Lord at a place known as Alokananda on the bank of the Ganges. Parasurama, see Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.6. Utatya, one of the three sons of Maharaja Angira. He was the spiritual master of Maharaja Mandhata. He married Bhadra, the daughter of Soma, moon. Varuna kidnapped his wife Bhadra, and to retaliate the offense of the god of water, he drank all the water of the world. Madhatithi, an old sage of fury, an assembly member of the heavenly king Indradeva. His son was Kanva Muni, who brought up Sakuntala in the forest. He was promoted to the heavenly planet by strictly following the principles of retired life, Vanaprastha. Devala, a great authority like Narada Muni and Vyasadeva. His good name is on the list of authorities mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita when Arjuna acknowledged Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Sahanatra, he says, na, Ardaha Devala Vyasa. In Bhagavad Gita also, his name was Devala. Read.
He met Maharaja Yudhishthira after the battle of Kurukshetra, and he was the elder brother of Dhaumya, the priest of the Pandava family. Like the Kshatriya, he also allowed his daughter to select her own husband in a Swayamvara meeting. And at that ceremony, all the bachelor sons of the rishis were invited. According to some, he is not Asista Devala,
Asita Devala.
Bharadwaja,
He wanted Asita Devala. According to
Asita Devala. Bharadwaja, Sri Srimad Bhagavatam 1.9.6. Gautama, one of the 7 great sages of the universe. Saradwan Gautama was one of his sons, person in the Gautama Gotra dynasty. Today are either his family descendants or in his disciplic succession. The Brahmanas who profess Gautama Gotra are generally family descendants, and the Kshatriyas and the Vaisas who profess Gautama Gotra are all in the line of his disciplic successions. He was the husband of the famous Ahalya, who turned into stone when Indradeva, the king of the heaven, molested her. Ahalya was delivered by Lord Ramachandra. Gautama was the grandfather of Kripacharya, one of the heroes of the battle of Kurukshetra. Maitreya, a great rishi of Yori. He was spiritual master of Vidura and a great religious authority. He advised Dhritarashtra to keep good relation with the Pandavas. Duryodhana disagreed and thus was cursed by him. He met Vyasadeva and had religious discourses with him. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji, because I want to read this sloka. Thank you so much, Gadadhar Prabhu. Otherwise,
okay, so many
thank you so much.
issues are there. And you know, Bhrigu Samhita, Bhrigu has written for every jiva. If I have gone many times, I will send the temple. I will go and see what is astrology chart. Bhrigu Samhita. He correctly say everything. Bhrigu has written for every jiva what is going to happen. How many temples will be building, gardens, everything. Bhrigu Samhita has been given. So twice I have experienced Bhrigu Samhita's predictions. That time no cows, nothing was there, but he used to say that it is written. This jiva will be having, will come. So many things are there this time. We'll make temple, we'll have cows. Bhrigu Samhita. He used to give astrological advice. It's written to Bharadwaj Muni. Bharadwaj Muni, where Krishna, where Lord Ramchandra went and took some shelter there also near Bharadwaj Ashram. It's actually Bharadwaj Muni who tells Lord Ram to make ashram in Chitrakoot. And then Bharatji comes there, Bharat Maharaj. So that is how the meeting of Bharat Maharaj and Ramchandra happens. So we'll do the further verses next time. Okay? Holy Krishna. Any doubts? Okay.
Mataji, one doubt, sorry. whatever is happened with Parikshit Maharaj, is it because we need to know, we need it, that Bhagavatam comes to us, that's the reason it's happened like that, or otherwise any reason behind that? Because he is very pious person. How
It is
come he
not,
could
it
do?
is not, it is not Parishit of the eternal one who has got this punishment. Nobody can curse and nobody can be punished with Parishit. And this behavior of Parishit is also, it is just say Maya Parikshit, just to have Bhagavatam evolved. It's Maya Parikshit. It is not the original Parikshit. Original Parikshit Maharaj cannot do all these things. And neither he can be even touched by Daksha. Like original Sita cannot be touched by Ravana. It's Maya Sita. So then appears as Padmavati Tayar to get married to Venkateshwara. Okay. There's my hectic day. I have to do hours. I'm really tired. So stop here. Panchatattva Parasambhi Devachan. Paritanam Pavani Viveshni Vaishnavi